Japan would never invade the United States in World War II. Because the Emperor of Japan stated flat out, he goes, we can't invade the United States because there's a rifle behind every tree. I noticed one day that the only people who ever argued the concept of abortion rights was alive at the time. Weapons have never on their own harmed a person. Okay? Politics is also two words. Poly, which is a root word for many, and ticks,
which is a blood-sucking parasite. Yeah. There are many blood-sucking leeches in Washington's District of Criminals. I totally agree.
You can't handle the truth. They have signs that say, if you do not believe in the Second Amendment, turn around now. State is like ravaged by something like a blizzard or tornadoes or something, and the National Guard go on.
Well, even then, though, remember when Katrina came in?
I never said I completely trust what you do with that.
Yeah.
I just said that's one of the few times I'm like, yeah, they are here to help.
Right.
And you wouldn't refuse help from them at that moment.
Remember what they did in Katrina, though? The Army Reserve, they were confiscating weapons. The people stayed back to like guard their homes, and the reserves were confiscating weapons. It was like martial law. What's up, man? How you doing? That guy works out. That guy works out.
You too?
Well, again, you're right. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think it would have been way different if all the legal weapons had been returned. Emphasis on legal. You know, I wouldn't return weapons to street gangs of thugs. I mean, that's just simple.
Yeah, but even then, what did Andrew Jackson say? I'd rather have dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. You know what I mean?
True.
And I mean, criminals are going to get weapons.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Did you hear what happened in Indiana the other day in that mall, Greenwood Mall?
Yeah.
That 22-year-old kid took out the shooter in 2 minutes. It's like all you got to do is call 911 and say, "Bring one body bag." Done.
Yep.
You know?
Hey, I think he's a hero.
Oh, he's a total hero.
Oh yeah.
Elisha Dickin. Elisha Dickin is his name. Do you know what happened? He took out the shooter, and his wife is a nurse, and she started tending to the victims. That's awesome. That's a power couple right there.
Oh yeah, without question.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying the preamble of the Constitution says provide for the common defense.
Right, which means that not only is the Second Amendment a guarantee of the right to keep and bear arms, but it also coincides with the fact that if anyone comes on American soil, our responsibility
is to defend it.
Yep. That's why Japan would never invade the United States in World War II. Because the Emperor of Japan stated flat out, he goes, we can't invade the United States because there's a rifle behind every tree.
Exactly. What was that quote you said about Reagan that you liked? One of your favorite quotes by Reagan?
He just simply said, don't trust the government.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a lot of favorite Reagan quotes.
Yeah.
Far beyond the norm. One of the ones, and I said this to someone that made them look at me like, okay, what do I say to that? I said that Reagan actually...
I'm going to move out of the way here.
Oh, we are. Doing all right. That he noticed, he actually said this, I noticed one day that the only people who ever argued the concept of abortion rights was alive at the time.
Yeah. So you're of the mind that shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. Period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the right of the people to keep and bear arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's refreshing to hear somebody say that because...
But again, it goes hand in hand with the concept that it's the responsibility of the citizenry to defend not only themselves, but the Constitution.
Yeah, which is the right of the people, the rights of the people. Yeah, exactly.
I can hear you all the way back there.
I'm driving them bonkers.
This guy's interesting.
I know. It's very interesting. You should hear what this guy's got quips and quotes. He said if you want to own a bazooka, you should be able to own a bazooka. He, on the other hand, would not want to own a bazooka.
Because I believe I am Bonnie Fife.
He said if he had a gun and a bullet in the chamber, he'd probably shoot himself in the foot. But that doesn't mean other people do.
I'm running low on feet. He knows this.
He lost his foot, his right leg in an accident, 18-wheeler.
Yep.
Wow.
How long ago did that happen?
41 years.
When he was 15.
Is it hard to walk with that?
It's a lot easier to walk with it than without it.
Yes, I know someone who lost their leg in a motorcycle accident.
It can be complicated. Let
Yeah.
me just put it to you that way.
So how did you come about, like, knowing the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed means what it says? I mean, have you always been of this mindset?
I found out I was a conservative, and keep in mind I used to live in Rhode Island.
I
was
can
born
tell
there
by your accent.
when I was 5 years old.
You still have an East Coast
I
accent.
figured it out.
Yeah.
By yourself?
The first time I bought something on my own, I noticed the sales tax, and I asked my dad, what is basically sales tax? And he goes, it's something that the business has to pay every month to the government. And I said, then how come I'm the one who gave the money for it? And he looked right at me, he goes, okay, fine, you're the one who pays it. And I go, yeah, I thought so. I figured out that businesses have never, and more importantly, are physically incapable of paying tax.
Why is that?
Because everything you buy, tax is paid to the government on every level of the business, but you bought the item. He who bought it paid it.
So it comes from the individual.
Right. All tax does.
And so when you...
Let me ask you something. Do you own a house?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question, and you tell me after I ask you the question if it falls under the definition of property tax or personal tax, or personal income tax.
Mm-hmm.
Describe the method that your house uses to pay the property tax.
The method by
The
which
method your house
my
uses.
house doesn't pay property taxes.
It doesn't?
I do.
Then is it a property tax or a personal income tax?
Yeah, it's a personal tax.
Exactly.
Which means nobody owns their house, because as long as you're paying rent to the government,
That's
it's
not
theirs.
even what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the fact that you can't have something like a property tax that doesn't exist. They just call it that to make it easier. I don't have a cashier, sir. Sorry.
It's a human tax. It's a tax on humans.
It's a tax on the individual.
Right.
Yeah.
All taxes are. Yeah.
Well,
There is not a tax you can name that isn't paid
by
by
the individual.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yes.
a very good
So
point.
it's all euphemistic to throw people off of what the truth actually is.
Right.
For example,
Because if you're raising the taxes on businesses, oh, that's so wonderful. Except
businesses don't pay taxes.
businesses don't pay taxes
Mm-hmm.
any more than they pay electricity. I am not paid by Walmart. I am a business expense that gets put into the prices of the products and services offered by Walmart, and a portion of it comes back to me.
Interesting.
It's paid by the product. I am a business expense. You are a business expense. You cannot name anyone who is not a business expense.
Yep. Yeah, those are good points. So basically, they use euphemisms to throw people off of what reality is. For example, gun control is not really gun control, because you're not controlling inanimate objects. It's people control. You're really controlling people.
It is? Wow.
So you already knew that.
I never knew that.
So you already knew that. Because a lot of people people believe there's something called gun violence and gun control. It's not gun violence, because inanimate objects don't initiate violence.
They managed to get guns completely out of Great Britain. You know that, right? Even, believe it or not, even the criminals cannot get access to guns, as a rule. So they use knives, baseball bats that they put nails into, so they're really brutal, and all kinds of other things. And baseball bats are not even considered a weapon. But they can be. The point is, like you were just saying, weapons have never on their own harmed a person. Okay? Theoretically, there can be an accident, but a person is still involved. Okay? But no one has ever seen a gun float into a room and start firing.
Somebody once told me that politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. That's what politics is.
Politics is also two words. Poly, which is a root word for many, and ticks,
which is a blood-sucking parasite. Yeah. There are many blood-sucking leeches in Washington's District of Criminals. I totally agree. Dude, it's so refreshing to meet you and listen to what you have to say, because very few people say what you say or think what you think.
Very few people understand it, or even willing to understand.
Yeah.
I've seen people literally do a human reboot when they realize that they're wrong on something, and they just go back to it anyway.
Yeah.
They don't want to face the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can't handle the truth. Right?
I can't.
I was just talking
I
about.
can. I know, I saw the movie.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Well, why is it against the law? Oh, you didn't know it was banned. You didn't know open carry was banned in Florida, right? Yeah, I wonder why it is banned here in Florida, because...
Have a nice day.
It seems like in all other respects, Florida is more free than places in the East. So I wonder why they're banning open carry in Florida.
I don't know if they're banning it per se,
Well, just open carry. I don't know about concealed carry. I don't think it's banned.
but I know that WalMart requests refrain from openly carrying a firearm.
Right.
You notice though?
Right. Yeah.
The language.
Well, the point is that if someone's going to try to do something, not knowing who has what might be a halfway decent deterrent.
No, it's strategic. Yeah.
So I think that by itself might be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
You know, that it could be strategic.
Yeah. There's no doubt that concealed carrying is tactically superior. I don't doubt that. But when I open carry, I do it for, to protect myself and my loved ones,
And to let people know, don't mess with me.
well, and for education, just to educate people. Hey, everybody
Now,
can carry.
I do believe everyone needs a backup to that plan. Okay? Like my sister Madeline. She was confronted by a guy who was just about to stab her. She's holding on to her 1-year-old. Assuming she was willing to drop the 1-year-old, she would be able to defend herself. Instead, she took her alternate method. And now the guy can reach the note of high Q, which not even dogs can hear.
Good for her.
She just hit him hard. Black belt.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh. Smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel sorry for that guy in the least.
Her father-in-law, who did pass away not too long ago, black belt, he did not get his black belt in the United States. He got his black belt overseas, where they teach the real versions. Bruce Lee himself said, a karate master from overseas can easily beat a kung fu master unless the kung fu master knows what he's doing. Because just because you're a master of something doesn't mean you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
But he respected people who trained overseas in karate because they could make up their own moves on the fly. Okay, so he was not what you would call undercautious against a Shotokan. That's what they call a full-fledged karate master. Just called the Shotokan.
Let me ask you, just to segue a little bit. In this area, are people pretty sensitized to the value of the Constitution and individual rights? Because that's what we're truly concerned about.
Quite a few people are. There's no way you can go where it doesn't happen, except for one place that I know of. And that's actually, what is it called? Jefferson, California, the 51st state. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Somebody who wants to.
They said they have signs that say, if you do not believe in the Second Amendment, turn around now.
I believe that's northern, isn't it?
I think it is Northern California.
I think.
And they hate being part of California. They actually said one time, if California wants to secede, as long as they leave us here, we'll help them pack.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's a healthy liberty kind of attitude. Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for people who are like-minded that care about freedom because we're about to lose everything.
Well, the thing with me is, I'm not going to claim because everything after the Bill of Rights was just written in, basically. Okay? A lot of it was good amendments, a lot of it was bad amendments, and a lot of the bad amendments got repealed, and it just gets really gnarly at that point. It gets confusing. I don't mean gnarly as some kind of weird euphemism, I mean as in the Gordian knot, basically. Okay? But if people cannot agree on the Bill of Rights, they have no right to claim rights of any kind. Because if you cannot handle the Bill of Rights, you can't handle anything else. And I don't claim to know every one of the Bill of Rights. I don't claim that. But they are the foundation of pretty much everything that has to do with freedom.
Yeah.
Because prohibition, even though I do not drink, was never intended to exist in the Constitution.
Well, because the Declaration of Independence says life, liberty, property, the pursuit of happiness, and prohibition violates all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't stop you from being alive, but, the rest of it.
Well, I'm just saying, in somebody's life, and they want to pursue happiness to drink alcohol to do it. We personally don't drink and get drunk or anything like that, but we don't care if somebody else uses their freedom to do that.
Yeah.
That's their body. It's their choice,
Just don't involve me.
Yeah.
Has always been my thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something, don't involve me. Okay? I've always been the person of, and don't take offense at this, although I doubt you would. My life is none of your business, your life is none of my concern. Okay? Now keep in mind, if you get hurt, am I going to try to help you? Yes. If you're stuck on the side of the road, I'll do something. It might just be calling a tow truck, but I'll do something.
But you don't have to. You're free not to. You're free to continue driving.
I'm not required to. But everything else in your life, not my concern. And definitely none of my business.
Live and let live.
That's why I'll say to people, I don't agree with this, and this. Don't affect other people's lives. I'm good.
Yep.
I can relate to that.
We agree. We're live and let live kind of people too. So
Yeah.
You're a breath of fresh air, John.
And but the thing is, I had someone. Now, like I said, this has nothing to do with whether or not I agree or disagree with the person. But when I first started working here, did you know who the co-manager is? And I stopped the person right there and I go, before you tell me anything about the co-manager, can I ask you one thing? The person's like, yeah. I go, will it affect my taxes in any way? No. Then I don't care. His life. Anything that someone does outside of the scope of the normal is between them and God. I'm not involved. When you try to induct other people into it, so it is more acceptable, then I'm involved.
Yep.
Just don't bother other people. You know?
If everyone could live like that way, the world would be better.
My personal
simple,
life is that of a Christian. And I'll be honest with you, I will to this day never tell people the personal insights of my life. Not their business.
There is one good precept that probably comes from the Bible: is do to others what you would want done to you. That's a good precept to live by.
Mm-hmm.
And don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. In other words, I'll leave you alone, you leave me alone. If our paths cross one day, we'll voluntarily enter into a business transaction or whatever. Other than that, we'll leave each other alone.
And the thing is, if you do something as a matter of course that I don't personally agree with, okay, and you actually tell me, yeah, I do this and this, will I disagree with you? Yes. Will I defend you? Also, yes. Just don't cause harm to others. And that's me.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I like John.
Yeah.
This is great. It's like I don't agree with what you have to say, but I'll defend your right to say it, right?
I'll defend your right.
Each
Yep.
his own.
And there are people in the world right now who do not want to defend your right to say things.
Oh, I know.
They want to take it away. They want to do the exact opposite. Yeah.
Lots of people like
Well,
that.
John,
Now, like I said, my precept is do no harm. So I'm not going to agree with people whose intent is to harm. Never.
Me neither. Me neither.
I don't even care if they're also Christians. You intend to harm? I'm saying without provocation,
right?
obviously.
Yeah, initiation of force.
Right. You intend to harm? I intend to oppose.
Yeah. That's one of the things we always say. It's never right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong.
Exactly.
Nobody owns you except you. Nobody owns me except me.
That is correct.
All right, John. Hey, good talking to you, man.
Hey, you
Awesome.
take care of yourself.
Hey, you too.
Nice
God
meeting
bless
you.
You should keep doing what you're doing. You're a bright spot in the world, man. Take care.
Maybe.